So, yeah, that was episode 4. Again, it was called The First Step. Let's just dive straight into the next one. And it is called The First Step Part 2. Yeah, I know the last time I made it seem like I was going to do the whole other episode. And I lied, clearly. But let's just go straight into it right now.
Come at me and you'll see I'm more than meets the eye. You think that you'll break me, you're gonna find in time.
This will be the day we waited for. This will be the day we open up the door. I don't wanna hear your absolution. Hope you're ready for a revolution. Welcome to the world of new solutions. Welcome to the world of mighty evolution. In time, your eyes will open mine. The story will be told. And I like this innocent. I like that everybody has their own emblems. Like, it's just such a good touch. Like, I like that it identifies, they have their own thing, you know? Like, it's just whatever. Okay. Purdy now. Wouldn't Crescent Rose have like cut through that? Love that she uses her glyphs. And Nora just fucking flies down. That was using his momentum to land properly. That's good, Ren. Good technique. I love that Yang is just having fun with it. Her personality is so... Why does her hair look so much longer than normal? Like, it's not me, right? It looked way longer than normal. Nailed it. Pyrrha. I can't believe she just literally just breaks through trees. I have no idea how she does that. Like, measurements and math and like anything like that. Could never do that. I could never do that. So the fact that she's just like amazing.
Gotta find Yang. Gotta find Yang. Gotta find
And I
Yang.
love that she says I'm sorry all the time, even though she's helping them out, you know?
This is bad. This is really bad.
I feel like
Find her.
Pyrrha should
Someone
be
finds her first.
low-key
This is John.
Canadian.
He's nice.
But that's just because I'm Canadian.
Funny. I don't think he's very good in a fight, though.
He's not.
Oh, what about Blake? So mysterious.
Speaking of Blake, why didn't we see her
Plus, she likes books.
landing
Then
strategy?
again, I'm not sure I'd be
Odd.
able to hold a conversation with her.
Very odd.
Ugh.
Wink,
Okay,
wink.
Who else do I know in this school? There's Yang, John, Blake, and...
Nope.
Where are you going?
I love it. I love Weiss.
We're supposed to be teammates.
And the red on her collar and the inner of her jacket, so good that it visually pops against the light. And she's like, nope. By no means does this make us friends. I'm just gonna quote a lot of stuff because I love this show so much. You Came Back To is also pretty funny.
John?
Ah.
Have any spots left on your team?
And that there's Pyrrha's sort of motif playing in the back, leitmotif, I guess it's called. And I love that little sweet little look between them. John's like, ugh. But then he has such a nice, cute little.
I'm not slow, see? You don't have to worry about me.
The look he shared with Pyrrha was so nice.
Doesn't mean I don't know how to deal with monsters. You're about to see a whole different side of me today, Weiss. And after it's all over, you're gonna be like, wow.
That Ruby girl is really, really cool.
And I want to be your friend.
You may be fast, but
You may be fast, but you still
excel at wasting time.
Ruby? Ruby?
I think I was just getting dark in the background. Uh-oh, Ice. It be them Beowulfs. That's not what RWBY says. There we go. So that was, no, don't play. That was episode 5. So volume 1, chapter 5, the first step, part 2. We've seen some people interact already. So RWBY and Weiss have been paired up. So they're going to be teammates for the next 4 years. As well as Jean and Pyrrha, they're going to be teammates for the next 4 years, I think. And then we've seen everybody's landing strategy, which was pretty nice. I like that Ren used his momentum to spiral down the tree using his weapon. What's his weapon called? Stormflower. So he used his Stormflower gun, sword, thingy, blade, thingamajig to spiral down the tree. I like that he used his momentum to sort of slow himself down. We just saw Nora just, what's the word I'm looking for? Just tumbling through the air. That was pretty funny. Yang was having the time of her life, just using Ember Silica to shoot herself further and, you know, just get her momentum going and landing in a fun, dynamic sort of way, because that's Yang's character. So that was cute. RWBY, I feel like, I don't know why Crescent Rose didn't cut through that tree branch. Like, I feel like if it's a weapon, if you're going at that momentum and that velocity, and you use a blade, if you use a bladed weapon against what looked like a pretty rather thin tree branch, I feel like the tree branch would snap. But you know what? We're gonna give it a pass because RWBY is good. The girl and the show. Pyrrha just busts through tree trunks. She doesn't give a fuck. That was funny. And she saved John, so that was also nice of her. And she was sorry about it as well. Yeah, so that was it. We've left off on Weiss about to be devoured by a beowulf. I don't know if that's a homage or reference to Little Red Riding Hood and the whole wolf eating people in the forest thing, even though she's Snow White. Who cares? Yeah, so that's all the thoughts I have right now on this episode of RWBY RWCH. I will probably be watching more episodes right now and recording that and editing them all in a bunch later. So I will see you in the next one. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at Mookies with a Z. And leave a comment, comment, subscribe if you like it. If you don't, say love me. And take care. Have a great day. Good night. Miss me. Okay, so hopefully it's not too bright outside. It's still daylight. Surprise, surprise, I do exist in daylight. Because my videos are usually at night. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get back into it with volume 1, chapter 6, The Emerald Forest. Let's get straight into it. This is the day we waited for. This will be the day we open up the door. I don't really hear absolution. Hope you're ready for a revolution. Welcome to a world of new solution. Welcome to the world of bloody evolution. In time, you have to live the mind. The story will be told. Victory is innocent. That's clearly an anime opening. It's clearly an anime. Oh, that was the anime opening. Hello, Yang. How are you today? That was Blake, right? I'm pretty sure it was Blake. Whose landing strategy we did not see, mind you.
Someone there? RWBY, is that you?
Nope. Ember Silica, yay! Yikes! Love the momentum. When she flows through her attacks.
Red Hood
Like, momentum is not wasted. It flows straight into the next move, and I like that.
Jeez, you two couldn't hit the broadside of the...
Yikes. You monsters! Did she... Okay. If you're having a bad day, just be glad you're not that Ursa. Also, did she use her semblance? Because in the first second, her eyes were purple. But then afterwards, it was red, so clearly. Hi, Blake. I could have taken him. I'm just gonna quote everything, like...
Head up, shoulders back, right foot forward.
Forward. Not that forward.
Slow your breathing.
Wait for the right time to strike. And... Now! Oh, Ruby. Would that have hurt Ruby?
Hey, watch it.
Because she has her aura, right? I don't know if dust... But then again, okay. Let's pause. Oh, Ruby. So we have Little Red Riding Hood and Snow White in a field. In the forest, mind you. It's good that they know when to attack and when to this animation. I'm not gonna dock them for it. Like, still.
Well, perhaps if you had exercised even
The slightest bit of caution.
placement of your strikes, I wouldn't have set the forest on fire. What's that supposed to mean? I'm just surprised that someone that talks
So much could communicate so little.
during an encounter. Well, I'm sorry that you need my help to win a fight. I'm just fine on my own. Well, congratulations.
Oh, here comes one of my favorite parts.
Child to sneak your way into Beacon.
That was a really nice animation with her face, by the way, when she said child. Oh, it didn't happen yet. Okay. Did she? Okay, is that a... That's a Nevermore's feather, but where's the Nethermore? Pyrrha and John.
Did you hear that?
Gunfire. It seems some of our comrades have encountered the enemy.
Who calls them comrades like that? Like Pyrrha, come on, sis.
John! I'm sorry.
It's okay. Just a scratch.
Why didn't you activate your aura?
Huh?
Your aura.
Gesundheit.
John,
Okay, that was funny.
know what aura is?
But
Of course I do. Do you know what aura is?
Aura is the manifestation of
this
our
is very
soul.
important.
It bears
It's
our
also
burdens and shields
very
our
confusing.
hearts. Have you ever felt like you were being watched without knowing that someone was there?
Yeah.
The King Taijutsu. It's one of my favorite Grims. It's Grim? Plural?
With practice, our aura can be our shield. Everyone has it, even animals.
What about monsters?
No, the monsters we fight lack a soul. They are creatures.
See how
of
it
breath.
looks like it's one thing?
The manifestation of anonymity.
It looks like one animal. But apparently it's
They
two.
are the darkness, and we are the light.
Right. That's why we fight them.
It's not about why.
It's not about why. It's about
It's about knowing. Okay. That was a little bit too early.
Understanding both dark and light helps us manifest.
See,
our
that's the
aura.
other part
Everyone has
of the
some
King
both.
Taijutsu. Apparently they're connected. But where was it the entire time?
By bearing your soul out.
I always thought they were
forth,
two separate.
You can deflect
Grim.
harm. All of our tools and equipment are conduits for aura. You project yourself and your soul when fighting.
No. It's like
It's like a force field.
If you want to look at it that way.
I mean, Pierre could have just said that at the beginning and saved so much exposition. But like again, they have to communicate the... Doesn't Fox do that at the end
Now,
of season
close your eyes and
Volume 2?
concentrate.
What Ren did to that
Okay.
King Taijutsu head?
For it is in passing that we achieve immortality. Through this, we become
Oh, this is so
paragon of
sad
virtue
in
and
retrospect.
glory to rise above all, infinite in distance and unbound by death. I
Which also
release
comes
your soul,
back into
and by my shoulder protect thee.
whatchamacallit, Rising, the volume 6
It's all right.
opening.
I used my aura to unlock yours, but the energy that protects you now is your own. You have a lot of it.
Wow.
The animation's just so endearing. Like, I know a lot of people don't like it, but their expressions are so adorable. Nora.
I still don't think that's what a sloth sounds like.
Oh. Boop. Every time I hear his voice, it's kind of sad. But as she said, in passing, we achieve immortality. So at least, like, he'll always live on through his work, right? And that's something that always, like, with respect to death, that's something that always, I don't know how to articulate it. Like, just thinking about people dying, and then even though they're gone, you can still hear them in the videos they've made, in songs that they've made, in stuff that they recorded. Like, the fact that you can still hear that they were captured in a moment, in a video or something, or in a song, it just, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's just a trip. Like, clearly it's just a recording, right? But at the same time, it's like, this person is gone. They're not here anymore, but we're still hearing their voice. Their voice is immortalized. And that always, like, trips me up. But okay, whatever. That was not where we were supposed to go with that. This was, I was like, okay, what? Ugh, okay. Let's slow it down. What did I want to say about this episode? Oh, fuck. I just realized that the fan was on the entire time. So sorry about that. But I'm not stopping it because it's hot as hell right now. What did I want to say about this episode? Jean knows what his aura is now. He has a lot. That comes into play in the future. We still haven't seen why Blake's landing strategy was not shown. Yang gets really pissed if you cut her hair. But we saw that in the volume, no, not the volume, the yellow trailer. When Junior got a bit of her hair and then she got pissed off. I noticed here when Yang activated her, I'm assuming it's her semblance, which is called Burn. And they never really named semblances in the show. I think the only one they've named was Pyrrha's, and that's in like episode 14 or something. Okay, so what did I want to say? Fuck. What did I want to say? I'll let you know what I want to say when I remember it. You know when you just like have a thought and then the thought says, okay, bye. That's like my life. ADHD is really, really, really inconvenient and annoying, but very inconvenient and debilitating, and like it's hard to communicate if like half the thoughts in your head are like evaporate when you're trying to communicate them, right? I was talking about, okay, let's trace it back. I was talking about Pyrrha. I was talking about Jean. Jean knows what his aura is now. Oh, semblances. Who's semblance? Oh, Yang semblance. Okay, so I have to say it before I forget again. Yang's semblance is called Burn. I'm assuming that's what she activated when the Ursa cut her hair with its claw. But even after she activated and she's like engulfed herself in fire or flames or whatever you want to call them, is there a difference between fire and flames? Like, is there a specific situation in which it's called, you know how like there's lava and then there's magma, and like lava is, I think, when it's above ground or underground,
and then magma is either when it's above or under it. Either, you know how it's one or the other, right? Does that apply to fire and flames too, or are they just the same thing? I don't know. Okay, so when she activated her semblance, she was engulfed in flames, and then her eyes were purple, like still purple, even though her eyes are supposed to turn red. Like, I'll put it here. Let me see if I can do it. Okay, I'll put it right here. Yeah, so her eyes were purple. I don't know if that was an animation mistake or like if she wasn't using her semblance, but it looked like she was using her semblance. Aura. They introduced the concept of aura. It only gets more complicated from here. The basic, like, Jean was right in how he simplified it. Like, at its basic level, it's like a force field. Where it gets complicated is, do you have to activate it? Is it passive? Pierre says it's you have to activate it. So like, I'm assuming that it's not consistently on. But then later on, we're told like it's passive. Like it just is always there, right? And your aura can break. So when you run out of aura, it breaks, and then you're vulnerable to damage. So with aura, that's like, okay. So with aura, they are able to withstand ridiculous amounts of damage, and I believe Monty like invented aura because he wanted them to be able to do like really super cool fighting moves and stuff, but like if they got stabbed, and like they wouldn't be able to really fight. So to justify them taking so much damage in their fights, I think I read somewhere or watched something, that's where the concept of aura is. So like, as long as you have your aura, it's not that you're immortal or like invincible, but you can't be really truly damaged. So I also wanted to know, Ruby, if Weiss had set her on fire, assuming that Ruby's not semblance, her aura was activated, would that damage her, or would it only damage her once her aura breaks? Aura is just confusing. Like it gets more complicated from here, but the way you should think of it basically is you have energy inside you that you can use. Like if you watch Naruto, it's like chakra basically, and then the only difference is that you're able to manifest it outwards so that it can be like a tangible force field. Yeah, so that's basically what aura is. So that's the important concept we were introduced to. Aura is number one. We'll get into whether or not it's supposed to be activated or if it's passive or whatever in episodes going forward, or chapters, I guess they're called. And I think that's all I wanted to say. Pretty sure that's it. Okay, so if you like this video, and you probably, like, I wouldn't blame you if you didn't like this one, because like it's rambling a lot and like I just didn't connect ideas well. But that's just part of parcel. How do you say it? It's part and parcel with me. So like that's just, we're like this. So yeah, let's just, if you liked the video, if you like it, thank you. If you don't, c'est la vie. I will see you in the next one.